Did you get the invite, Tobes? It's September 13th. Hello, hello. Accept. Go live. Please, for the love of God, why is this not working? Universe, help me out here. I have no clue what in the actual fuck is going on. I've accepted the invite a bazillion times. It says you're unable to join, Toby. You guys, we're going to talk about meditation today. And I'm going to send it again. Okay, invite has been sent.
Hey, that worked. I don't know what happened.
What a weird start to this interesting morning.
I know. Good morning. We did it.
Good
Jesus,
morning.
I don't know. I'm not sure we have to work out the kinks on that. I really don't know what was causing the issue, but
I have no clue.
Exactly when we were meant to get here. Here we are.
That is 100% right. I am just going to set this other thing up to record. Well, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, my darling. You look
How are you
gorgeous
today? How are you this morning?
I'm great. It's kind of funny because I could not sleep past like 2:22 this morning. The numbers were out of control. I kept waking up in the middle of the night, and the only times I woke up were 12:22, 1:11, 2:22, and then it was so wild. I was like, wow. But I could not go back to sleep after that because I was so excited about this topic today. I love meditation. Shit's my bread and butter. But it's so ironic that I couldn't turn my mind off because I couldn't stop thinking about teaching other people how to turn their minds off. So obviously I need a little bit of work still. So it's a practice.
I think all of us could use a little bit of work in meditation, no matter how long we've been doing it. And we haven't been doing it that long. Well,
No,
at least not consciously. We haven't been consciously doing it.
No, but before we talk about meditation, I want to say happy early birthday to you.
You're so sweet.
Birthday on Thursday. Oh my God.
The big 40.
You
the big
are
40.
Such an inspiration to me. You are so fucking gorgeous, way more gorgeous than any 40-year-old I've ever known in my life.
No way.
Absolutely stunning. And I finished your birthday present. Can you see it?
Look at that. I can. Oh my gosh, Toby, it's so gorgeous. That is so beautiful.
Creation. I just tried to bring it to life with some fun colors, but
I love it. The green is my everything. My everything.
I hope your day on Thursday is just perfect. I'm so grateful to know you. So grateful you were born.
I am grateful that we have crossed paths, and I think we would have crossed paths no matter what. So meant to be. What's the weather like over there?
It has been really warm, although this morning there was like a slight chill in the air, and by slight chill I mean it was like 80 degrees, and I was like, ooh. I was like, no,
it is a rainy morning here.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm in my room today because I felt like my meditation room was just a little bit too gloomy with the rain. There's not a lot of sun on that side of the house. So my bedroom it is.
Perfect.
Today. And I thought, like, since we're going to jump into meditation and like how we started in meditation, where we're at in meditation, I started out right before we did this with a little bit of Hepe.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and I feel so grounded and beautiful I did the Tree of Life Hepe it's called Munye Kura. And and it's a really gentle.
Four Visions Market, right?
Yeah, it's really gentle. It doesn't like it grounds me, but doesn't like put me to sleep. Like it
Yeah.
drops me into just like a what I like to say an awake meditation.
Amazing. Good
So
job being brave. It scares me every time, but it's such a beautiful experience every time too.
it really is shocking to the body, but I think for me, that's my attraction to it is can I get through this hard part?
Yeah,
And then once
for
you get
sure.
through it, you're like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah, and it really forces you to just be completely in your body. So
Yes, listening, you can tell like my nose is a little bit red,
I can
but
see the happy glow.
yeah, like I really enjoy that one. I use that one before daytime meditation so I don't get really sleepy. I use it when I'm doing ceremony on other people and before Reiki. I just use that one. It's just my morning time addition to meditation, and we'll get into that part later. So,
Nice.
where do you want to start with your meditation practice?
Well, maybe kind of how we got into meditation a little bit, but really I would love to just dive in. There's so much to cover when it comes to meditation. I feel like we could do an entire podcast and have every episode be about meditation and we would never run out of material. That's how I feel like
Absolutely.
I love teaching it. I love helping people figure it out for themselves. I love like kind of debunking the myths around it and also just making it not so overwhelming for people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I owned a vegan skincare company called Belpo. You can visit it at belpo.com. My sister owns it now. And at the time I really was just, I was Miss Go, 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 trying to be as productive as possible as a mom and as a business owner. And so I started waking up. My sister Bryn actually gifted me a book called The Miracle Morning by
Yeah,
Hal Elrod.
it's a
And
great
that
book.
book changed my life. It just really gives you some, and it's been years since I've read it, so I don't even remember exactly all the things, but it really set me on a path toward getting focused, starting my day off right, which is one of the most powerful things you can get into the habit of doing. At the time I was working a 6:30 a.m. shift, so I was getting up at 3:30 in the morning just to pack all my kids' lunches and get a good meditation in so that I could start my day and feel like I was accomplishing everything that I wanted to. But I didn't really understand that I was working to clear my energies in any way. I didn't really speak in terms of energy in any way whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But that book really helped me get into a routine with
Yeah.
meditation. And how I started was the Meditation Minis podcast. And honestly, if you're watching this, I recommend grabbing a piece of paper and a pen because we have so many recommendations. I know I do. I know you do.
Yeah.
And so jot them down and use whichever ones stand out to you. But the Meditation Minis podcast is done by Shell Hamilton. You can find it on Apple Podcasts and probably anywhere else you can find a podcast. And I've used those with my family as well. Each Sunday, we have a Sunday lesson for our family. That is our church where AJ and I teach and we connect with our kids about the things that we feel are important. And meditation's been a big part of that. And the Meditation Minis podcast is perfect because it's these short, digestible, visualization, immersive meditations that are great for beginners. They were fantastic for me to start just getting into that space because it can be kind of difficult to just jump into focusing only on the breath. Your mind is so chaotic when you first start to meditate that focusing on the breath can actually feel excruciating. So Miracle Morning Meditation Minis podcast is really how I started. How did you get started in meditation? And I would say that was probably in like 2018-ish.
Yep. I honestly don't remember like the moment I was like, I'm going to start meditating.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like a culmination of in 2019, I was part of a group of women. We were all like searching for something else. We were looking for like balance in our lives, business wise, spiritually, in our romantic relationships. And my beautiful friend Carrie had introduced me to her group of friends, her high school friends. She's been friends with them forever. She's this beautiful woman that I always call her my soul sister. I've known her since I was 16. She gave me, like, she changed my life, and she brought me into this group of women. And through that group of women, they shared a nighttime playlist on YouTube, their personal nighttime playlist. And so my meditation is quite opposite of yours, which I think is so beautiful and just kind of
just like us.
Keeps going. Yeah, just like who we are. We're so opposite, but so the same. Yes. My meditation is more of a nighttime routine. So I started listening to their playlist, and it was videos on like speaking weight loss to yourself, because we were all trying to like be healthy and in all aspects of our life. There was and these are short videos. You put your headphones on, you would lay down, and you just listen to them while you sleep. There was one on financial success, one a lot on like just positive affirmations while you sleep. And that's kind of how my meditation practice started. Then, you know, we went through that craziness of shutting down the world. And when I moved back here to Utah from California was when I felt the most lost. My life had changed so drastically everybody's life had changed so drastically. Yeah. And I really did feel it in a soul crushing kind of way. And I came across, you know, YouTube, and I had always been a part of YouTube. I have like a vlog with my daughter with autism on YouTube. And I was really just searching one day, and I was like, meditations. And I literally just put meditation into YouTube and just scrolled until something jumped out at me like that said, this is for you. And I remember the very first meditation I did off of YouTube during the day. So my routine went from only at night, putting my headphones in, going to sleep. And because I was working nights at the time, no, I was working early mornings. I was at the casino. My schedule was like crazy. I would put my headphones in so that I could sleep, but then I was listening to all these very interesting meditative voices. And I found one for the day, and I sat, and I have one of those like egg chairs in my room. I think you've seen it.
Yeah.
I sat in this chair so comfortably, and I did this meditation that focused on how I was breathing. And it was very much like, visualize you're climbing a mountain, you're at the peak of the mountain, there's snow everywhere. And the way that they had us breathe in this meditation, if I didn't open my eyes, I would have been like, I'm on a motherfucking mountain right now, and it is cold. Like the breath was cold coming in. Amazing. And it was just using my breath to put myself in a situation where I had to focus on my breath, because my mind thought we had gone through this crazy hike, and now we're at the peak and we're enjoying it, and we can feel this crisp, just very crisp, cold air entering my lungs. Wow. And when I was done with that meditation, I was like, what the? Like, this is real. Like, this is real. People actually do experience these beautiful moments in meditation where you can put yourself in a different mind space, a different realm is how I always explain it. And then I started doing that, finding different videos on YouTube. Michael Seeley is one of my favorite.
I don't even think we've ever talked about that.
No, he is. If I see a Michael Seeley video, done. Like, I want to experience that.
So calming.
That voice. Yes, he's so calming, and not like in a weird, creepy, voice kind of like you are sleeping type of way. Like, it's just such a beautiful, he has such beautiful work on YouTube. And I started using different modalities of meditation through YouTube. I did quantum leaping through YouTube, meet your higher self, energy cleansing.
I remember you sending me the HemiSync one. Do you remember that?
The HemiSyncs are really powerful. Those are, I think, down the line for people.
Everyone should look up on YouTube the HemiSync videos.
Those are amazing. But I just had a lot of experiences where at first I thought I was doing it wrong because I would put the headphones in and I would be in my chair and then all of a sudden I'm like this, I feel like I'm sleeping,
Yeah.
but then I would be awoken to like a beautiful white light around me and I would be like, what is going on?
Mm.
And then I'd be like, oh, I was meditating. Like I was in that moment. And I think a lot of people are scared of just being quiet and calming themselves. I don't have a mind that shuts off ever. I've never been able to do meditation where I'm not thinking about my daughters or my husband or the cleaning that I have to do. I have learned to let those thoughts come into my mind while I'm meditating and be like, okay, I have to clean the kitchen, but I'm going to do this meditation first
Yeah.
and kind of drop back in. And then if something
Right.
else pops into my mind, like, did he really say that to me, that jerk? And I'm like, yes, he did say that to you. And we will feel those emotions
We
when we're
will
done with
address
this.
that later.
Right. We will talk about this later. And giving myself the space. So my meditation is twice a day on a good day. That means that I am scheduled. I have freed myself up. I have enough time and I'm focused on myself. And I get my kids ready for school. I get everybody out of the house. I close my door. I lock my door. I'm either on my bed, I'm in my chair, or in my meditation room. And I give myself at least a half an hour of time. But on days that I'm busy, I've learned through this process, meditation could be a couple seconds, a couple times a day.
Yes.
And it's a quick recharge to the body. But that's really how meditation started for me, was just being introduced through somebody else's practice, incorporating that into my own, and then hopping online and typing in meditation. And YouTube is such an amazing tool for other people's practices, things that I really do think work. I do have another side of meditation that I've gotten from YouTube that I actually just shared with Jamie over the weekend. That I was like, listen to this video, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But meditation and using the resources, the technology of this time in the realm and this time on earth, I think is a beautiful way to incorporate meditation into your daily life. So I think a lot of people, you think, okay, we're going to meditate, right?
Yeah.
Clear your room, clear your mind. You're going to sit there and then your eyes are closed and you're like, I need ketchup.
Right.
Did I change the baby's diaper? My coffee's getting cold. And honestly, that is what meditation is in the beginning.
Yep.
Letting all those thoughts come. And then eventually, I think if you're starting out, using a guided meditation is so helpful to guide your mind into the right headspace. And then as you progress through your practice of meditation, whatever feels right to you is meditation.
Right. That's the thing about meditation, is that, in the Buddhist tradition, the word meditation is like very equivalent to a word like sports. It's like a family of activities. It's not one activity. There are so many ways to do meditation. As you were talking, I was remembering a time of just an example of how meditation becomes medicine. It becomes medicine for life, for getting through life. And it's just a way of recentering. And there's so many different ways to do that. But I was thinking about a time I was doing the dishes downstairs. It was after school, a lot of kids, a lot of chaos. There are so many different things. I'm trying to be taxi mom and keep up with the house and keep up with my work. And it was just, that feeling of like, I'm about to explode right now.
Right.
There's so much overwhelm and energy and stimulation right now.
One more question.
It's going to, exactly. Yeah. One more freaking question and I'm going to snap, and I hate that feeling. And so I remember going upstairs, and this was something I became very familiar with, but this was one example that I remember very specifically. I said to the kids, I got to go meditate. They know that just means I'll be gone for 15 to 30 minutes. I go upstairs and I just sit on the edge of the bed and I just sit there and I'm just buzzing with energy, just buzzing, you know, and I just force myself to just breathe and my heartbeat's going. And, you know, it's so hard to sit still when your energy is so chaotic. You want to escape your body. And so you find a way to move or you find a way to distract yourself. Yeah. But I sat there and I just let that happen. I let myself want to move, but I didn't move. I let the thoughts go and I just watched them pass through me. And I just sat there in stillness and breathed. And in like maybe, I wouldn't even say it was 10 minutes. I would say it was more like 5 to 7 minutes of just closing my eyes, you know, and then eventually letting that breathing settle into a totally natural pace and just observing that breath. Eventually I got to this space of absolute and utter joy and gratitude. There was no way I could not feel grateful sitting in that moment, experiencing my breath, experiencing the feeling of a bed under my ass. What? So many people in the world do not have a bed. Experiencing my feet on a wooden floor. Wow. How in the world am I feeling like I'm gonna explode when there is so much magic in this stillness? And it just, it was so humbling. I ended up just sitting there and just weeping in gratitude for all of the children that were downstairs who are in my care, you know, and it really helped me understand, like when I'm folding laundry can be a meditation. I am so grateful for the bodies who fill these clothes. I am so grateful for the money to purchase these clothes, the capability of having running water and laundry detergent. It's just letting your energies settle. And when you can actually get in the habit of doing that, it takes 5 minutes to do that. 10 minutes tops, but you have to create that space for yourself. And you have to trust that if you sit there and you just be with your breath long enough, you will find that center space and you will. I walked out of that room. I walked into the room feeling like I was frazzled as fuck and couldn't get through it. Walked out of the room so excited to go and connect with my family again and to accomplish the dishes, you know, and so grateful for the dishes and the food that was on those dishes, you know. And so that is kind of the way that meditation for me has become a way of life, is just when I need my medicine, I go take my medicine.
Right. And I think the way that you're explaining it, there's two sides to this. So you're talking about a meditation practice and a practice of gratitude. And you combine that for yourself, which. And
when you enter stillness, you can't not get to gratitude.
Right. And I think we have to, like in the beginning of meditation, when you start a journey like this, when you feel like you don't know where else to look and you're just so frustrated and you're always feeling that buzzing, overwhelming feeling of like, what else can I do for everybody around me? Like, it's not selfish to take a moment to yourself. And when you can really sit with yourself and feel the feelings, because there is absolutely nothing wrong with feeling like I cannot answer one more fucking question. I cannot make one more plate of food. If I have to wash the 10th cup that the one child has used today, I'm going to lose my mind. And I think that is a very normal emotion, and removing yourself from that to feel that chaotic energy and that overwhelming, like I am one person, and then realize that, yes, you are one person, and bring all of that back into that oneness of self. That's the beauty of meditation. And that's what we use it for.
Powerful.
You can use meditation in so many different ways, which brings me into the video that I just shared. So meditation for me has been so many different subjects for me personally. I use meditation just to still my mind, to clear my own energy, we'll talk about quantum leaping and all that stuff in a whole different podcast. But to manifest, to connect with my higher self, to connect with my guides. And there's also an aspect of meditation where I could connect to my body in a a very intimate sexual way where bringing my, when I say intimate sexual way, we're not going to start talking about like masturbation or anything like that, because that's not what it is. It was just realizing that this body, and this is for, and I know so many moms on here will relate to this. You get to a point in your life where you're just so overwhelmed with everything that you have to do for your children, and bringing a desirable sexual meditation into your nighttime, and so that you don't feel overwhelmed. Like having sex with your husband is another chore, or your spouse or your girlfriend, whoever it is, becomes so overwhelming. Using meditation to drop into a sensual space with yourself. And this is a no touching type meditation where I have found
so beautiful.
So many amazing practitioners on YouTube, and they're like 6 minutes. And visualizing our bodies as such a beautiful creation that we get to use for pleasure. It's not a chore. And, you know, and meditation has helped with that aspect of my life as well. Like reminding myself that I am a woman, and how fucking blessed am I to have been born a woman.
Yes.
Like, we're very powerful women, and we hold this sexual energy in our body. And that is, for me, what I would consider the most powerful life force, life energy, source of energy that we hold as women. And using meditation to get back to that, like that balance in our energy system, has been life-changing. And if I ever hear a girlfriend of mine say, I just don't feel like I'm in the mood anymore. Like, I just don't want to do it. Nothing's happening for me. It's just not fun. I immediately like, nope, you need to do this meditation at night.
Yes, don't rob yourself.
Yeah, go by yourself. Just listen to it, visualize it, follow the prompts. And it's a no touching meditation. It's not like they're like, okay, touch your breath and then move down.
If people want to find that, what would they search on YouTube?
It would be like, oh, I'll have to look it up. It's like sexual meditation, or like
maybe, or something.
Erotic meditation, maybe.
Yeah.
So there's
I think so many women. I've really never done anything like that, but I've used my body in a sensual way just personally with meditation, and I teach other people to do that, but I've never actually looked up like erotic meditation. But I think so many of us, women and men, are so disconnected from our bodies that getting back into our bodies is a huge part of the healing process, you know.
And the beauty about this particular video that I give to everybody, I've given it to my husband. Like, I'm like, hey, I want you to lay down on the ground. You're going to put these headphones on. You're going to listen to what they're saying. And I'll do Reiki on his body while he listens to this very short 6-minute meditation on, and if I'm going to explain it, like I keep saying, it's a no touch meditation. And when we use the word erotic, people I know, or it's going straight to, it's going to be like, and she's touching you and blah, blah, blah. No, that's not what it is. This is all, you're still, imagine the pure white energy entering your body, and it teaches you to breathe. Now you're breathing in and you're breathing out. Now breathe in the energy and breathe it out through your mouth. Now breathe in the energy, breathe it out through your heart center. Now breathe in all the way down your system until you get to your root, your solar plexus. And then all of a sudden you're like, what? Like, what was that? What am I feeling right now? And you're like, oh, our sexuality is not gross or it doesn't have to be physical. It's energy. Like, it's just energy. If we can drop our energy in. So meditation has this whole realm of resources and teaching moments for people that I really do think, if you are struggling and you're just like, okay, I'm going to start meditating, you don't know what to do, sit with yourself, get a notebook, do not edit what you're saying, and what are you looking for? Like, what are you struggling with the most? I think a lot of moms on here are like, I'm just a mom. I'm a frumpy old mom. And I don't have, like, I have to have sex with my husband because it's my duty. And number one, no the fuck you don't. Okay? No the fuck you don't. You don't have to do anything. But you do need to heal yourself of that. I'm just the burden. I'm just the one that does this, blah, blah, blah. And using meditation in all aspects of your life, using the subject matter. And if you're looking for a very quick and resourceful tool, YouTube is beautiful for that. It's beautiful for that, where you can type in
so much unlimited
meditation for studying, meditation for sleeping, meditation for overeating, meditation for depression, meditation for sexuality, like so many different avenues to meditation. It's not just what people assume. Like, we're not just all monks and just sitting there for hours. Like, that's not what's happening. And it evolves into, okay, I'm going to paint a picture. That can be your meditation. I'm going to take a walk outside by myself with headphones on and listen to beautiful music and walk through nature. That's meditation. Doing dishes, that's meditation.
Yeah.
Taking a shower can be meditation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's so many avenues to meditation that, excuse me, I think it shouldn't be as scary as it is for people to get into this practice. And it can be very scary because there's this image of meditation on the internet of a lot of women and men just over and over. And even though that is a very beautiful way to meditate, meditation is whatever helps you quiet your mind.
Right.
And it can be anything. It could be knitting.
Yeah. And I think that as people start to develop a meditation practice, you really realize that you can meditate literally anywhere, and it can be helpful literally anywhere. There are 3 really major kinds of meditation that I break it down into for people I work with. One is like body awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other, like a body awareness practice, a body consciousness practice, and then also a stillness practice. So both of those are active. And then the other one would just be stationary meditation. There's like so much in each 3 section, but body awareness is paying attention to the thoughts that go through your mind. Your mind is like the sky, and the thoughts are like the clouds. You are not the clouds. You're not your thoughts. So throughout your day, and you can make it fun for yourself. It's really just a practice in getting to know yourself and connecting with yourself throughout any given day. So as you go throughout your day, when you're trying to kind of cultivate some body consciousness, because we're all centered when we are fully in our body. You go back to the breath at any time throughout your day when you're feeling whatever. Open and say out loud, I am opening. I am opening my heart. I am opening my mind. I am open. I am relaxed. And just being aware of that. And then also just, you know, a mindfulness practice, that body awareness, your thoughts are part of that. Your thoughts are a huge part of what is draining the energy from your body system.
Yes.
People don't realize that your thoughts are like physical objects too. It's just they're at such a high vibration, you know, that we can't really track them like we can track the physical world, but they are physical.
And they're so powerful.
They're so powerful, and they determine everything. And so your mind is that empty space where the thoughts are created. And so one way this body consciousness work is just learning to practice being aware of the thoughts, realizing you are not the thoughts. If you're at a stop sign and some asshole just flipped you off and you're racing with thoughts, meditation is that opportunity to take a breath and pull back from those thoughts and just observe the clouds passing in the sky. And then the other kind of active meditation is a stillness practice where you're doing the exact opposite. And both are really important to cultivate in your life, because you want to get to know what you're thinking in order to start to work with the mind and change those thoughts. But you also want to create space by quieting your thoughts. So both are very important. And there are so many different strategies too that I teach people I work with. One is to close your eyes and imagine, or if you're in line, say standing in line or whatever it is, you can imagine that you're holding some kind of hose. And every single time a thought enters, you suck up the words of the thought. You just suck them up. So a thought will start, oh, I need ketchup, you said.
Yeah.
oh, I need, suck it up.
Right.
You just suck it up. And the other way is to create like a mouse hole in your mind. I'm holding my stone for grounding.
Yeah.
Create a mouse hole in your mind and just wait for the next thought to come out and be curious. What is the next thought I'm going to think? And then just go into stillness. Another way is gazing. It's so powerful to just, if you're in line, if you're driving, if you're with your children in a whatever, you can stop and practice just perceiving with alertness and taking away all words. No words. A tree is no longer a tree. A tree is a magical wonder of the universe that I'm just perceiving. And so if you can just pull back in both of those ways from the hustle and bustle of life,
Mm-hmm.
you're practicing meditation as a way of life, and you can just keep being centered through all of life. Then there's stationary meditation, and there's, we've been talking about a million ways that you can do that. But just learning to make it fun and get to know yourself through just noticing your thoughts, and also when it feels right, practicing eliminating your thoughts and get creative with that.
Or changing your thoughts.
It's not hard, it's fun.
Catching yourself when it's like you pass a mirror, and you talk about this a lot. I have really incorporated my words into my daily meditation. So I always start my meditation with what I'm looking to get out of myself. So I will start with, your willpower is strong. And I will repeat that. Your willpower is strong. Your willpower is strong. You're making healthy choices today. You're making healthy choices today. And I repeat the thoughts in my mind until none of the negativity comes in, because it's very common, I think, for women. And I know it was very common for me when I first started meditation. I would notice the way my body felt, and I'd be like, oh, I feel heavy. Oh, you gained weight. Oh, you're fat. Oh my God. What does your stomach look like? What if somebody walks in? And so I started combating those negative thoughts with saying, oh no, you're beautiful. If somebody walked in, they're going to see you as a goddess. Like you're glowing. You're thin, you're healthy, you're beautiful, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Right. And we talked about this just the other day on Sunday, that I have changed the way I use my words. So it went from me being very, in my meditation practices, when I'm being conscious, to try and change my mind. And I was like, I am this, I am that, I can do this, or I have done that, to my words have changed. And it's made such a beautiful difference in my physical life, my physical presence, where it's like, no, people perceive me as this, people see me as that. So because I am still a person, and when you pass yourself in a mirror, you are looking at a reflection of yourself. So it doesn't matter if you're telling yourself that you look fat today, every time you look in the mirror, you have told the universe that you look fat today. So you're going to see that. And so I have changed my wording just a little bit to, the world perceives me this way. When people see me, they're going to perceive me this way. They're going to see me this way. And it's like a different way of showing up in the universe. Until you feel that in your soul, you can tell yourself that that's what it is. And guess what? Universe and your mind will make that true.
They will just agree with whatever you're thinking. The universe just agrees with whatever you are being in a moment.
And it can transform your life in such a beautiful way. Like all different subject matter can be thrown into this conversation about how, like I have passed the test. Thank you, universe, for I've passed the test. Like whatever it is. Like I think our words that we use prior to meditation, in meditation, after meditation, I can't meditate is a big one that a lot of people use. I can't meditate. I don't know how to meditate. If we change our wording, because words are spells, like we're spelling ourselves constantly. Words are so powerful. And I am meditating. I do have a meditation practice. It doesn't matter if it's 1 minute a day. It doesn't matter if it's 10 minutes a day. Whatever you can get accomplished in the beginning, I tell everybody that I work with in the beginning, put a timer for 3 minutes.
Yes,
3 minutes is all you have to do. Today, you're setting your timer for 3 minutes. You're going to sit there. You're going to just focus on your breath. When the timer goes off, you're done. Get up, move about your day.
Yeah.
The next day, do that for a week. Now move on to 5 minutes or 6 minutes and double your time until you don't need the timer anymore, until you can drop down and experience that euphoric feeling of like, nothing's happening right now. My mind is not throwing anything at me. And when you can get there, my experience is so beautiful. I have experienced some of the most beautiful colors I have ever seen in my meditation. I'm not a visualizer like some people. If you tell me you're standing at the bed of a river and the water's passing by, do I know what a riverbed looks like? Absolutely. Do I know what it sounds like for a river to pass by? Absolutely. Do I see it in my mind? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's not there. I don't see it. And that was a big struggle for me in the beginning of meditation, because most meditations are like, you're walking down a path, visualize you're all in white. Right. I had a real hard time with that because I don't see it like that. I don't see picture. I see color. So if I can move past my thoughts, I get to see the most beautiful colors around me. And then little images will come through. People, I'll see my guide standing in, with my eyes closed, standing in the light of the color that I'm seeing. Yeah. Other people's energy.
Colors that don't even exist in this realm. Like when you close your eyes and get to that state, it's like, it's absolutely incredible.
I can see other people's colors if I'm in the right mind space. People's auras. If my kids are home, I'll know which kid is walking past my door because the color changes in that space of just connecting to the stillness of the universe and just being an observer and not a participator. And
I would say though that some people, and this was me, that space that you're discussing, which is the theta brainwave state, there's beta, which is highly alert, alpha, which is very light state of trance. Then there's the theta, and then delta is when you're sleeping. And when you can get into, and every time you meditate, you're not going to get to that theta state, but the theta state is where the images and the symbols that we use in our dreams are. It's the dream, it's a dream state, and it's like an awake dream state. And that's where what I work with in hypnotherapy is the theta brain state. But when I first started getting to that state, your body kind of goes numb. You can't really feel like where your hand is or where your feet are. You're just energy, and you enter that void, that nothingness, that empty mind, that empty space. It was jarring for me. And I think, to be honest, a lot of people do not realize that they are terrified to be still with themselves. Absolutely. So many people are not able to drive without listening to the radio or listening to their music or a podcast or a book or something. So many people, or talking on the phone. They cannot
going to sleep.
Still going to sleep. Anything. It's like you're trying to escape that empty nothingness, but that is where it's the quantum field. It's where everything is made. And that is where thoughts are created, and thoughts are what create our physical world. And so if you can clear out that space and live there and you have to familiarize yourself with that void, that space, because it just depends on your background. But for some people, it really is kind of terrifying to be there. And when I was first starting meditating, I would close my eyes and I would start to get to that theta state. And then I would start imagining that somebody was coming to attack me. Like I had to open my eyes because it would freak me out. I'm like, something's going to happen. I can't have my eyes closed, or I didn't feel safe there. And I'm still working, practicing to be able to stay in that state for a long time without freaking myself out,
Yeah. I think for me,
practice
in the beginning, my body I have such a physical presence in this realm, in this world, that when I would drop into that, my body would jerk me off the bed. And that's when I would see
I'd like pop up
quick visions, or I would jump up and run out of the room, like, what's wrong? Like, is everybody okay? And my daughter would be like, it's just me. You know,
And
Samara
I
would be
will
the
have to
one like,
force myself to go back. Like, no,
right,
get back there, try again. I mean,
just
it's
realizing.
ridiculous sometimes how I'll be meditating and I will literally just pop up. I have to do
Yeah,
this, pop. And I'm like,
right,
fuck, I did it
right,
again.
right.
No, I will go back.
Just,
And you're training your mind like a puppy. You know, my
yeah.
youngest 9-year-old, Anthony, he's been having a little bit of anxiety lately. And this is new
Hmm.
for him. 4th grade, little bit of social stress.
Hmm.
And so we've been working with meditation for him. And I was telling him, you know, we have an Airedale Terrier dog named Billy. And I said, we, just like we train Billy, your mind, you're not your mind. Your mind is a tool. And it's
Yeah.
such an awesome tool. And it can be used to help you. But you
Hmm.
have to train the mind like a puppy. At first, a puppy's all over the place. It's just doing whatever it wants. And you have to say,
Hmm.
no. Right now, there's a time and place, little
Yeah.
Billy. And so we named his mind Billy.
I
And
love,
sometimes Billy just needs to sit and stay. And we're
yeah,
working with that. But it really is, it becomes this actually very enjoyable practice where you're developing a relationship with your mind, which
yes,
is a very important and beautiful part of yourself that for most people is completely out of control and ruining their fucking lives. You have to
right.
get control of your mind in order
Yes.
to get control of your life. It's just,
I also do want to bring up,
no.
you know, we've been talking so much about different ways to meditate. I do want to bring up, like, there's a whole nother side of people that don't necessarily believe in like this, how we're explaining it. But I would like to inform them, like, sitting in prayer, that's meditation.
Oh, prayer is wonderful. It's
Yeah.
concentrated focus on something important, and it is powerful. Where your attention is where your energy is. I mean,
Mhm.
that's Reiki.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I did want to, I don't know why, like, I'm like looking out the window and I see the mountains and I'm like, prayer keeps just kind of popping up into my
it's so
mind.
great.
You can use prayer, that if you're a prayerful person,
Yeah,
that is your meditation. So
love that.
when you're moving into like this space of like meditation, I don't know how to meditate, you've been meditating.
You're
When
doing
you bow your head and you say your prayers, that's a form of meditation. You're not thinking
that.
about anything else. You're just praying. And if it's for yourself or somebody else, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
that is a form of meditation. Um, and that's something that I do with my little ones, Piper and Jack, whenever they're not feeling well. We lay together and we meditate and we say, and this is going to be like kind of go a little bit more broader. I use crystals in my meditation constantly,
Mm.
whatever energy I'm trying to bring into myself. And a perfect example, and it's perfect for what we're talking about today. Jack woke up around midnight,
Mm.
puking everywhere,
Oh,
just
bless her
sits up
heart.
and is just throwing up all over her bed. Piper's screaming. I wake up out of a dead sleep. She's calling for her sister. We're all like, okay, what is going on? We're all
Yeah,
crazy.
what's going on right
Right.
now?
So now we're cleaning up. Jack's in the bath. Jack is miserable. She's done throwing up, but she's, you know, it's jarring.
Yes.
So what do? I lay in the bed and I said, Piper. And she said, what? And I said, I need you to go get me a crystal out of my meditation room. I was like, get me either amethyst or something yellow. And she was like, okay, mom. And so she knew exactly what she wanted to get because my kids are very versed in my
Yes.
crazy.
Oh my gosh, they're
And
so
she
awesome.
brings me this beautiful little triangle pyramid amethyst that I have. And so I'm like, hey, Jack, come lay with me. And so Piper's sitting next to me. I'm laying in my bed here. Jack is laying on my person. So now I picture us as being one person together when she's laying on me. I put the pyramid in my hand. I put it on her tummy. And we're just both breathing in and out. I match my daughter's breath because children breathe a little bit faster than we do.
Mm.
I just choked.
Oh, girl.
I just choked.
Sorry.
But we're like breathing and I'm using this crystal to and I'm meditating and I'm picturing Jesus, come on through. Let's chill out. This purple healing energy coming from my body into her body, into the
Wow.
crystal, back from the point of the crystal into her body,
Her
back
body.
into my body.
Beautiful.
And I physically, in my mind, I'm saying to myself, to her body, to universe, to the energy, bring in all of the purple healing energy, fill our bodies with this beautiful purple energy, this healing life force energy, and release the sickness out through our feet, back to the earth, where it belongs.
Yes.
And I'm doing this in a circular type breath. That is meditation. That's how I help my kids feel better. And
Yes.
it's become such a beautiful practice for me. And you can do that with yourself. When I am feeling anxious or irritable, I use this beautiful honey calcite sphere and I hold it to my solar plexus and I'm just like, I am calm, I am clear, I am calm, I am clear. I release all of the negative energy that I'm feeling in my body, all the anxiety. I release it through my feet back to the earth. So it's very, there's so many ways you can go with meditation. Like you said, we can have a whole podcast about just meditation and how it evolves. And my personal practice has gone from just listening to videos to sitting on a earthing mat, sleeping with an earthing mat, because my sleep time is my meditation time. When I am laying down to sleep, the only time I don't do it is when my husband's home, because I like to be alone when I'm working on something. When I'm deeply meditating, I sleep alone 5 times a week. So 5 times a week, my meditation is putting my feet on an earthing mat underneath my blankets, whatever crystal I'm called to, holding that to my heart center. I put another crystal under my pillow, whatever it is I'm working on, and either using a guided video. Pepe is a big part of my nighttime meditation practice, and letting my body just evolve into this new practice. And my practice now doesn't look like my practice that back then, and I don't think my practice next month is going to look like my practice today.
Exactly.
It's whatever is working for me at the time, whatever I'm called to. And with that, I think me and you both have come across some really cool videos that we share. You shared one video, the video with the woman. And remember I told you, I was like, oh, she has the I am chart. She has the saints in the background. And
Lori Ladd.
Yes, I was so distracted because I was like, that is very triggering. What am I getting into?
Yes.
That was one of the best experiences in meditation for me.
It's a connecting with the guides meditation. If you want to look it up, it's Lori Ladd on YouTube and connecting with the guides. She does some really great meditation.
That one specifically I use that one when I feel like I've lost my connection. I'll use that one, and that one is so physical.
Yeah,
and then of course the hemisync.
I know, me too. I love it. I want to go back to the hemisync videos. It's been a minute.
It's so incredible and so beautiful. So to kind of wrap up what we're talking about in meditation and stuff, I think my suggestions would be get yourself some good headphones.
Yeah.
Because you want to be able to close out the world and only be with yourself. And pick a time of the day that you can really give yourself time to sit, even if it's 3 minutes. Find 3 minutes that you can be alone. Start very slowly, start very light, start very easy, and start. I mean, that's it. Start. Just start.
Don't make it complicated. If I had to give some suggestions, I like what you were saying about bedtime. And bedtime, I've always had, when my son was 6 weeks old, my oldest son, he stopped breathing. We were driving down the freeway. It was this whole thing. It was terrifying. I had to give him mouth to mouth for like 9 minutes. We were at the hospital for like 5 weeks. It was and I was, barely 20 years old. And so since that, I have had severe insomnia, and I've been working and working and working, and it's getting better and better and better. And one thing that's really, really helped is meditation. And so 2 things that I would recommend. One is the bedtime stuff, and the other one, what was it? Oh, A Beautiful Place. So when I work with people and also in hypnotherapy, we encourage people to create a beautiful place within your mind. Some people already have it. Maybe it's a garden, maybe it's the forest, maybe it's the ocean, maybe it's the mountain, maybe it's a meadow. Did I already say meadow? But in addition to a beautiful place where you feel safe, where you feel protected, where there are no worries and no problems, the other thing that I would advise you to do that is so powerful that I've adopted just recently is creating an enchanted tree in your beautiful place. Maybe something that looks like this tree behind me. Maybe something that looks like a tree from Avatar. So this tree for me in my beautiful place, I kind of find myself in like a forest when I go to my beautiful place. And I kneel at this enchanted tree, and I've decided that this enchanted tree in my beautiful place is medicinal in every way. Whatever I need, this mother tree is there to nurse it into me. And so I put my whole entire being onto this tree, become one with the tree, become one with her root systems, become one with her absorbing the light, allowing the roots to both nourish me and also for me to give through the root systems, and to just really ground yourself. Imagine that roots are growing out of the bottom of your feet. Imagine that those roots are wrapping around rocks, winding through 100 feet down in the soil, where that soil has not seen the sun in over 100 years. Imagine that you are grounding into that soil and absorbing the light for your nourishment. And then those roots are growing bigger and bigger. The more you absorb the light, the stronger your roots, because roots come from within. You cannot build roots from outside. It literally is inner work to create this strength, this fortification. So beautiful place, my first recommendation. Second recommendation, if you're just starting out, would be to take advantage of the time you are already in the theta brain state. Every single person on the planet is in the theta brain state twice a day. When you first wake up and when you are falling asleep at night. That is the most powerful creation time for you. And so if you can, every time you're going to bed, go to bed in a state of gratitude and challenging yourself to get as relaxed as you can. So get comfortable. Close your eyes, focus on your breath. And then it's like a game for me. It puts me to sleep every night now. It's like, how relaxed can I get? So I'm breathing in and out, and I'm like, okay, my hand could be a little bit more relaxed. My forehead could be a little more relaxed. My hips could ease into the bed a little bit more. And if your thoughts start to take hold of you, you're like, oh, there I go again. That's okay. How relaxed can I get? How relaxed can I get? And I'm just going to breathe and relax every part of my body. Breathe and relax every part of my body. And as you do that, if you can also stay in a state of gratitude, that will create so much in the quantum field that you have to be grateful for. It's just a powerful creation time when your thoughts are, if you're in the theta state and your thoughts are creating feelings of gratitude, that is what creates the future that you want. It truly is. And so as you wake up in the morning, challenge yourself every single day to imagine yourself going to sleep so proud of yourself and so grateful. So you wake up, and before you touch your phone, before you start freaking out about everything you have to do and complaining about whatever, no, you imagine yourself getting back into bed that night and being overjoyed with everything you've accomplished, how you feel about how you handled everything. Oh, I did it. Think of one mantra. I did it. I did it. I'm proud of myself. And just set yourself up, because if you can drop the pin on that happening, it will get there. You will get there. You have to, it's called an intention. Dropping that pin is your intention. And it is powerful if you can take advantage of those 2 times you're in the theta brain state. So when you're going to bed, go to bed in gratitude. When you wake up, imagine yourself getting back in bed in gratitude. So it becomes this cycle of creating positivity in your life.
You can even, in the beginning, start with the way that I started my cycle is when I would open my eyes, most of us are like, oh, fuck.
Yes.
I have to get up.
Exactly. And
The
that
second I
creates more
open,
days where you feel like,
right,
oh, fuck.
like you're not getting rest. What
Yeah.
I do, and I try to get my kids to do, especially when they're really grumpy, when I open my eyes, I'm like, God, thank you for opening your eyes, or like,
Yes.
thank
I'm
you that I made it through
alive.
the night. Like I am alive today,
Yes.
thankful for just gratitude is such a life-changing process for people. I don't think people understand being grateful for the stupidest, littlest things
It's so
that we
amazing.
take for granted can change everything for people. And the first thing that I do when I open my eyes is I say, thank you that I have woken up. Thank
Yeah.
you for this day. Me and my husband, when he's home, we have a little bit of a connection on whether or not our blinds should be open at night. I love
You
my
like the
blinds
sun coming
open.
in?
I like my blinds open all through the day. If I'm laying in bed, I want to be able to see Mother Earth out of my window because I have such a beautiful view. I like to fall
Yes, me
asleep to that so
too.
that the first thing I see when I open my eyes is, okay, the sun is out. Thank you for the sun. Thank you for bringing me through the night. Thank you for the lessons that you taught me through the night, because I do go to sleep asking specifically for lessons.
Yeah.
And thank you for teaching me all that is known and unknown, things that I remember and do not remember. I say thank you for just the night in general. And then I can get into the thank you for whatever my list is for the day. I have accomplished everything on my list. I have made good food choices. I have made time to work my body or time to work on whatever project.
Yeah.
And that has changed me personally, physically and emotionally and spiritually, using our words, like just
Yeah.
reminding ourselves that being grateful. And meditation can look like having a journal before and after bedtime, writing down what you're grateful for when you go to sleep for the day, waking up and writing down what you're grateful for coming forward, And I think that was one of the biggest things that I did in the beginning of my practice, was writing down what I was grateful for, writing down what waking up and going to sleep felt like. And dang it. Hold on. I want to make sure that that's still recording. And keeping that journal, you journal all the time as well. And you can go back and look at the differences.
Yeah, so
And
powerful.
it's its own form of meditation. It is its
Absolutely.
own form of meditation. Reading books and not like trash books, like reading books that are enriching you as a person can be another form of meditation.
Yes.
Listening to music, dancing.
Yeah.
Toby, dancing to beautiful music is a form of meditation.
Good way to meditate.
Yeah, and
with
it's
your
just,
body and to quiet your mind.
It's not a one size fits all practice. Whatever works for you. If something that you've heard from, that we've said, if you want to incorporate that and it doesn't work for you, that is okay. You're not doing anything wrong. It's just not the way you're connecting. You just need to find the way that you connect to that quietness in your mind so that the answers can come through, so that the healing can start. And that is really, I think, how we both kind of started our journey, is being able to quiet our mind in meditation and finding the points in our life. And I think we've talked about this before we end. I want to really reiterate, we do not have it together every single day. There are days where I do not meditate. There are days where I am in that yucky funk of just like, get me away from my fucking kids. I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I need to be away. But as you evolve through this process, you recognize those moments of just, okay, I need to remove myself from everybody.
Right, you have an awareness around that.
A quick reminder that, you're not giving yourself space to clear your energy, to still your mind. And then you jump right back into your meditation practice. So this is not something that you're going to be like, I'm going to start today and it's going to be good every single day. My meditation practice has changed so much. And there was a point in time where I was sending a physical text message out to my accountability partners on gratitude and meditation, what I was thankful for that day, what I was thankful for the day before, what I had going on, like my to-do list, and sending that as an accountability with another person so that we could keep ourselves in this gratitude mindset. And I don't need that anymore.
It's a great way to start for people if they want to have a partner where there's like a gratitude accountability. I remember you doing that. That was fantastic.
Yeah, and it did make a big difference for me. It was reminding me to sit down and focus on what am I grateful for. And it could be things as stupid as, I am so grateful that Piper brought me that bottle of water yesterday. I didn't ask for it and she brought it to me. Or I am so grateful that I was looking out my window and I saw a bird land on my porch. Like so many different tiny little things. I think people think it always has to be this grand gesture of, I'm so grateful that my husband loves me, or I'm so grateful that I have my children. Sometimes I'm not grateful that I have my children. And that's just a fact. And that's just how I am. And
we are going